Hey, we are coming to you live from the car we're parked down at the Gillamine in Tramore, and we're about to go for our weekly swim. So I thought I'd just pop on real quickly because this is the last one, and I just wanted to kind of share the process maybe, because offerings to deity is something that we get asked about a lot, and you know, our relationship with deity and how we kind of keep our right relationships. So if I could just tell you that, like, myself and John, say hi, John. Oh, wait. Hi, John.
Hi, John.
Myself and John woke up this morning, and the absolute last thing we wanted to do was put on wetsuits and, you know, drop our kid to school and go and get into the fucking sea in September in Ireland. And we've been doing this for a week. So it started, my Patreon site visit last month was to a place where the Bive shows up usually, and Monanon, thankfully, in hindsight, Monanon showed up instead, and you know, was like, haha, you got work to do. And I mean, call me thick, it's going to seem absolutely like obvious when I walk you through it, but at the time I was like, oh shit, like, you know, not really putting two and two together at all. So Monanon was he was like, right, well, you got some work to do for me. I want you to get in the sea in September every 7 days, basically, was what I was told. So this is our final one. Yay. And if you've been following me on Instagram at Your Irish Connection, or on my Facebook page at Lora O'Brien Irish Author, then you will have seen some very miserable, cold, wet, grumpy photographs from, and so I think some video from our morning swims every 7 days. So it's only really today that I'm kind of figuring it out, because in the last week or so, I have been really planning my OM Journeys launch. I do an annual program every year with weekly guided journeys to develop people's relationship with the OM, the individual OM fee, each week. And I kind of thought, you know, this morning as I was driving in, I was like, right, so like, what is the point of this? What have I been doing this for? And obviously now it kind of hit me that, you know, this is an offering. This is something that Mananon wanted so that he can step in and take a hand in making the OM Journeys program and the launch successful, because we work with Mananon for abundance for our family. And we also work with him for, well, I personally work with him for guided journeys. He's a guide in the Irish Otherworld. So it's fairly feckin' obvious now as to why Monanon wanted a little bit of, you know, a little bit of something up front, so he could step in at this point and help us with the OM Journeys launch and the new program that's coming out, because I only do it once per year, so it's kind of a big deal. So if you're interested in that, join my mailing list, by the way, and you'll get loads of cool OM info through October. But that's at lauraobrien.ie. But yeah, this is the kind of relationship that I have with the deities. So I just thought that it might be useful or insightful for people to share. So I was doing a journey at the last site visit, and as I said, Bive, I was expecting to find Bive, and I did not find Bive, thankfully. But Mananon stepped in, and there were a couple of things that he asked for me, and this was one of them. So some of the things were immediate, and then this was more kind of long term. So I am a cold creature. I did not want to do this. This is a sacrifice for me. This is an offering that I make that is not easy, that is not in my kind of nature. A lot of people might be very delighted to come down and swim in the sea, and I'm just going to show you, if I can just swivel around. It is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it really, really is. But it's gorgeous while you're sitting in the car, rather than like having to actually, you know, get out and get into it. So that's where we are. And hopefully that's useful for you. And I'd love to hear if the gods have offered or have asked any kind of offerings from you. Stick it in the comments below, because I love sharing experiences with the community like that. Okay, so I will see you in the next video, and thank you for joining me live, folks, and slán go fóill.